Everybody, so tonight I'm gonna try something different. I got my pajamas on and I'm getting ready for bed, and I just took a bath, got all warm and comfortable, and now we're going to read a bedtime story. So tonight we're going to read The Elves and the Shoemaker. Now it's backwards. The Elves and the Shoemaker. See the picture? That's why I picked it, because I like the picture. Okay. Here's the first page. The Elves and the Shoemaker. Some more pictures. Okay, here's the first pictures. There once was a good shoemaker who, through a spell of bad luck, had become very poor. Finally, he had just enough leather to make one last pair of shoes. "Still, it is a fine piece of leather," said his wife, "as soft as butter, yet as strong as your hands." "Tonight, dear wife, I will cut the leather," said the shoemaker, "and first thing in the morning I will sew the shoes." Here's the next pictures. Here's that one. And that one. You guys will understand what the pictures are later. Maybe I'll show you again. The next morning, when the couple went into the workshop, they were flabbergasted by what they found. There on the work table stood 2 shoes, perfectly finished, not a stitch out of place. But who? How? Sputtered the shoemaker. His wife could only stare. Just then a dandy gentleman came into the shop. "What magnificent shoes! Please, I must try them on," he said. The shoes fit perfectly. It was as if they had been made just for him. He was so pleased that he paid double the price. Now the shoemaker had enough money to buy leather for 2 more pairs of shoes. Okay. Here's the dandy gentleman. The shoes that fit perfectly. Here's a cat. And there's all his money right there. He has striped socks. It's kind of funny. Okay. Again that evening the shoemaker cut the leather for the shoes and went to bed. And once again in the morning there were the shoes finished. Buyers were not lacking for these either. And as before they were so pleased they paid double the price. Now the shoemaker had enough money to buy leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. The next morning, just as before, there were shoes already made. There's the shoemaker cutting out the leather. Look, in the corner. In the window, there's the elves. There's another elf up there. The cat sees them. And here's the 4 pairs of shoes. There's some fish shoes, and some curly shoes, and the shoes with bows. Red ones have bows too. On and on it went. Whatever the shoemaker cut out in the evening was finished by morning. Soon the news of the splendid shoes spread throughout the town, and the shoemaker and his wife were no longer poor. Here's a picture. This side there's a dog. Lots of buildings. And here's all the people lining up for the shoes. There's the shoemaker. That's the shoemaker, and that's his wife. All the people lining up. Are the elves on this page? Let's see. Oh, there they are. There's the elves up there. One evening not long before Christmas, as the shoemaker cut more leather for shoes, his wife spoke. "Dear husband, who has made us so rich? What if we were to stay up tonight and see who comes to the shop?" The shoemaker agreed, so that night they lit up a small lamp in the hall, hid behind the coats, and waited. As the clock struck midnight, they heard the creak of a window and the scuttle of small feet. Peeking out from behind the coats, they saw two tiny children sneak into the workshop. They were poorly shod, and they wore only raggedy sacks for warmth. "Elves," said the shoemaker's wife. Here's the elves sneaking through the window. There's the cat who notices them. Oh, and there's the feet. They're hiding behind the coats. I see their feet out from underneath the coats. And over here is a Christmas tree. The tiny elves tiptoed across the room and climbed up onto the table. Then, humming and whistling, they began to stitch and sew and hammer so quickly with their little fingers that the shoemaker and his wife could not believe their eyes. There's the shoemaker and his wife hiding in the coats, watching the elves. And here's the elves. They climbed up on the table. There's the sacks that they wear and all the stuff for them. There's the cat again. The cat likes the elves, apparently. And this page is just pictures. There's him, the boy elf. I think he's humming. You can tell by his lips that he's humming. And then the girl, she's whistling. She's hammering the shoes. There's both of them together. Okay. The elves did not stop until the shoes were finished and stood lined up on the table. Sturdy writing books, delicate slippers, feather-light dancing shoes, and heavy clogs for work. Then the elves tiptoed out of the workshop, up the stairs, and out the window. Here's the picture. And the elf is telling the cat not to tell. He says, "Shh." I don't know what he's doing. Jumping? The next morning the wife said, "The little elves have made us rich. We must give them something in return. They run around with so little on they must be freezing. I will make a warm dress, coat, and pants, and knit them each a pair of stockings. And I will be happy to make them each a pair of fine shoes," said the shoemaker. They went right to work, and that evening they laid the presents on the work table. Then, like before, they hid behind the coats and waited. Here they are making the stuff. The cat's sleeping. The old lady is making the coat. There's stockings up on the door. He's making the tiny little shoes. And then over here, all the clothes finished. There's a pink dress. Striped socks. Her little boots have pink on them. That's cute. And the boy elves, blue and a striped shirt. At midnight, the elves quietly slipped into the shop, ready for another night's work. But instead of pieces of leather, they found the beautiful presents. At first, they were too astonished to move. Then they hugged their new warm clothes and quickly put them on. Here's a picture. This one. The girl's hugging her dress. She loves it. There's the boy getting dressed because he loves it. There's the shoemaker and his wife watching the cat. When they were dressed, they leaped and bounced around the room singing, "Now we're elves so fine to see, no longer cobblers we will be." They jumped over chairs, raced around the shop, and finally ran out the door. Then click and clack of their new shoes echoed through the streets. They're jumping over the chair. He took a donut. And then over here, and them running down the street. From that time on, the little elves were not seen again. But the shoemaker and his wife lived a long and happy life. There's the elves and their shadows going up the stairs. And over here, it's the shoemaker and his wife and their cat walking around. Oh, and there's the elves up there watching. The end. So this was The Elves and the Shoemaker. It says Retold from the Brothers Grimm and illustrated by Jim LaMarche. So that's the end of the story. If you watch my next video, I'm going to do the first chapter of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So that should be good. So good night if you're going to bed now, and I hope you liked this story.